Mexico!
There you go.
The excitement has been building over the last hour inside of Allegiant Stadium as Mexico and Jamaica meet in the semifinal of the 2023 Concacaf Gold Cup for the right to face either Panama or the United States in the final. Happy to have you along this evening from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Joe Malfa. It's beautiful indoors, it's scorching hot outdoors as Jamaica and Mexico are set to battle it out here with one spot left in the final. United States and Panama still actually in penalties at the moment. So as it stands, neither Jamaica nor Mexico know who they would possibly be facing in the final, but that'll change by the time we get to kickoff here inside of Allegiant Stadium. That penalty shootout ongoing. So if it is Jamaica on to face the U.S. or Panama in the next round, this is how they got there. It started with a game against the U.S. in a draw to open the group, and then 3 wins since a hard-fought 1-0 win over Guatemala in the quarterfinal. And then for Mexico, a 2-0 win over Costa Rica, which was a nice bounce back after that 1-0 loss to Qatar. An interesting result to end group play for Mexico. They were clearly going after the perfect group record. They played a top starting 11. They had over 20 shots in the match, but fell 1-0 on the evening to Qatar. It put a weird cloud over the group stage for Mexico after near perfection in the first 2 matches. But they got back on track against Costa Rica. And now they are in position to make it another final here in the Gold Cup. For Mexico, it would be a 3rd consecutive trip to the final. For Jamaica, it could be a 3rd trip to the final in the last 5 tournaments, as they made it back in 2015 and 2017. This is the 28th meeting all time between Mexico and Jamaica. Dominance on the Mexican side. They lead the all-time series 19-3 with 5 draws. And this is their 9th meeting in the Gold Cup. But as of late, this series has been deadlocked. These 2 teams met twice in the group stage of the most recent edition of Concacaf Nations League. They played to a 1-1 draw last June, that's June of 2022, and a 2-2 draw this past March, on March 27th. So last 2 times, these teams have drawn. Their last meeting in the Gold Cup came in the 2017 semifinal, and on that historic night, a 1-0 win for Jamaica. They went on to lose the final to the United States. So here we are 6 years later as Jamaica and Mexico once again on the semifinal stage. They also met in the final back in 2015. It was a 3-1 win for Mexico, which gave them their 7th of now 8 Gold Cup trophies. Coming into this one, Mexico ranked 14th in the world, number 1 in CONCACAF. Jamaica 63rd in the world and 7th in CONCACAF, making a 5th consecutive Gold Cup appearance. Jamaica, they missed the tournament in 2013, and when you have a defining moment like that, you could either let that snowball into something much worse, or you could use that as a catalyst to improve the state of your footballing affairs. For Jamaica, it was the latter. After missing in 2013, runners-up in 2015 and 2017, and now once again on the precipice of another final. Mexico, losers of the final in 2021, champions in 2019. They have alternated tournaments of lifting the trophy ever since 2011. Champions in 11, did not win in 13. Champions in 15, did not win in 17. Champions in 19, did not win in 21. And El Tri is hoping that same pattern continues here. Jamaica, Mexico in the tunnel. Undoubtedly looking up at those TV screens which have Panama and the United States flashing. Panama could win their semifinal with their upcoming penalty. There you see it. Demarai Gray, Leon Bailey, eyes on the TV to see if Panama will take down the U.S. Matt Turner in the background there, hoping to keep the U.S. alive in that penalty shootout. So by the time these teams are out there, they will know who the opponent will be. And I've just been told Panama converted the PK, so it will be either Jamaica or Mexico in the final against Panama this weekend. So one of the CONCACAF giants, the United States, they have fallen. Will Mexico meet the same fate? Can Jamaica be this match's Panama and upset the apple cart here in Concacaf? They've done it before, making the final in 15 and 17. Andre Blake, a big reason for both of those trips to the final. The teams will make their way out of the tunnel. Anthems, lineups, and kick coming up from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Let's welcome the national teams of Jamaica and Mexico. Hemos dado bienvenida al equipo de Jamaica y México. Please rise for the national anthem of Jamaica. Damas y caballeros, por favor, pónganse de pie para el himno nacional de Jamaica. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Mexico. Por favor, sigan de pie para el himno nacional de México.
Jamaica, Mexico ready to go. They know what is at stake. A spot in the final against Panama, who beat the United States on penalties. And to get to that final, this is the 11. And Jaime Hallgrimsson sends out there for Jamaica. It's Andre Blake, the all-Concacaf goalkeeper, between the pipes once again. The back line unchanged from last game, and that's the theme going forward throughout the rest of the 11. An identical starting 11 for Jamaica as the team they ran out there in their 1-0 win over Guatemala in the quarterfinal. They have had this consistency now in the lineup. On paper, they are one of the most talented teams in this Gold Cup, but they will now face their stiffest competition to date in Mexico. Officials for tonight led by Mario Escobar of Guatemala. It's an all Guatemalan crew with Ventura and Panhoj with Lopez as the fourth official. Captains out there for the coin toss, Andre Blake, Memo Ochoa, dueling captain goalkeepers tonight. And in the VAR room, Ricardo Montero leads the way with Ismael Cornejo as the assistant. Over the last decade, it's hard to find two better goalkeepers in CONCACAF than these two. Keylor Navas atop that list. A couple others maybe crack the top five, but Ochoa and Blake, the class of CONCACAF, at opposite ends of the field tonight. One big change in the 11 for Mexico compared to their quarterfinal, and it comes on that back line where you see Montes and Vasquez next to each other, with then Sanchez coming into the midfield because Edson Alvarez was not fit to start for Mexico, nursing an injury. He is available on the bench. Unsure whether or not he is fit to enter this match at all, but unfit to start for Mexico. And that is a massive loss for El Tri, considering all they rely upon Alvarez for, whether it's a target on set pieces, whether it's a steadying presence in the midfield, whether it's an anchor on the back line. A big miss today for Mexico that Jamaica will undoubtedly look to exploit. This was your final in 2015, Mexico and Jamaica. It was a semi-final in 2017. Mexico won the final in 2015. Jamaica won the semi-final in 2017. This is their first Gold Cup meeting since that 2017 semi-final. And as fate would have it, it comes at the same stage of the tournament. It'll be Jamaica in the yellow and green from left to right. Mexico in the green and white from right to left. Referee Mario Escobar trying to break up this Jamaican huddle because we're ready for action. Will Mexico make a third straight final? Will Jamaica make a third final in the last 5 tournaments? Who will go on to face Panama in the final? We find out together over the next 90 minutes here at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Panama awaits. Jamaica, Mexico over the next 90, maybe next 120, maybe beyond that, and penalties will decide who that opponent is for Panama. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. The styles of these two teams so drastically different as Mikel Antonio goes down and wins a free kick. Jamaica content to sit back, concede possession, quick strike counters when they're there. And those counters led by 4 players of the English Premier League in Damari Gray, Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, and Mikel Antonio are lethal when they're on. Jamaica scored in the first half against the U.S. in their tournament opener off a set piece from a wide free kick just like this. Leon Bailey will swing it in, and it's promptly headed away. Back in over the top. Latibo there nods it down, cleared away by Vasquez. Now it's Mexico's turn to get out in transition. They have the numbers. Over the top, Luis Romo feeds it all the way across for Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo patient, drives it in, center of the box. What a start for Mexico! Henry Martin puts El Tri ahead 1-0 in the second minute. His second goal of this tournament. The first came in the group stage against Haiti. Martin, right place, right time, was shouting for it. Made its way through. First touch almost made a bit of a mess of it. Popped it up in the air. But as it came down, struck it well, stuck it true, and got it past Andre Blake. Jaime Lozano, Mexico's head coach, in his wildest dreams last night, maybe could not have thought up a start like this. 83 seconds into the action. It is 1-0 Mexico. A trip to the final against Panama on the line. And it could be a matchup in the final that we've never seen before. When Panama has previously made the Gold Cup final, on both occasions it came against the United States. Both times the U.S. won. Mexico, Panama, never head-to-head in a final in the Gold Cup. As it stands, that's what it would be. How does Jamaica respond to an early concession like that? Battling edge of the area, it's Pineda. On the turn, a half-hearted attempt for Eric Sanchez. This is the first time Jamaica is trailing in this tournament. They led against the U.S. in the opener, finished 1-1. And then they led early on in both games against Trinidad and Tobago and St. Kitts and Nevis. Jaime Lozano, stoic on the sideline, left the celebrating to his assistants. He knows the job is far from over against the dangerous Jamaican side. Kevin Lambert, a chat with Mario Escobar, came in a bit high with the boot. Actually made contact with the head of Eric Sanchez. Did not appear that way initially. Jesus Gallardo started the attack that led to the opening goal. Now it's Pineda, deflected out for a corner. Mexico is all over Jamaica right now. Orbelin Pineda scored against Costa Rica last match, now serves the corner. Guided away by Deshaun Bernard. Eric Sanchez taken down, free kick for Mexico. How quickly things can change in this sport on a larger scale. Nearly a month ago to the day, Mexico stepped between the lines here at Allegiant Stadium in the semifinal of Concacaf Nations League against the United States. That was back on June 15th. They were dominated from start to finish, fell 3-0 to their arch rivals. It led to a change in the coaching staff. It led to a change in some of the players being called in. Led to a period of uncertainty for Mexico after they just came off a period of uncertainty after the World Cup in November and December, failing to advance out of the group stage and let go of Tata Martino. Now Jaime Lozano, their third coach in 8 months. And again, that was just a month ago. The feeling now so different around El Tri. Ahead 1-0. In the same venue a month later with a trip to the Gold Cup final on the line. some space for Jorge Sanchez. Uriel Antuna back for Sanchez. Luis Romo steps into the space. Jesus Gallardo settles. An assist already tonight. Gallardo feeds Luis Romo. Andre Blake had it the whole way. Thibaut Dare, the latest on the radar on Mario Escobar. His partner in the defensive midfield, Kevin Lambert. Seeing some words from the referee a few moments ago. That's Thibaut Dare. The battery of those two in the defensive midfield has been consistent all tournament long for Jamaica. They've been so stout defensively, have relied on Lambert and Thibaut Dare to be that conduit to the top line. And then let those four, Damari Gray, Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, and Mikel Antonio wreak havoc the way they can. Antuna. Played through for Martin, a great turn, pass low, chance for Mexico to make it two. And it's saved by Andre Blake, visibly unhappy with the way his back line handled that advance for Mexico. Eric Sanchez picked up the loose ball after Martin went down. Might have been heading wide. Andre Blake not taking that chance, and it was going wide. So 10 minutes in, another set piece for Mexico. Already stick to a 1-0 lead. Courtesy of Henry Martin, officially 80 seconds into the match. Corner whipped in, and they'll do it again. Played short by Pineda. Top of the area now for Gallardo. He sends it in. Didn't seem like the 10 up there for Mexico were all on the same page. And now Bobby Reed picks up his head, looks to break out, sending it long. Flick through to Antonio. Mikel Antonio lays it off for Bailey. That's how quickly Jamaica can make something dangerous happen in the attacking half of the field. Again, it's Mexico scoring first. Did so in the 4-0 win over Honduras, the 3-1 win over Haiti, and the 2-0 win over Costa Rica. Only exception, the 1-0 loss to Qatar. Some possession for Jamaica. All the way back for Andre Blake. Had spells against Guatemala where they did see more of the possession, but those were few and far between. Martin on the turn. Deflected as Eric Sanchez looked for goal. Uriel Antuna gets it back into play. Jesus Gallardo has been a rock at the back for Mexico. Played every minute of the 2022 World Cup. Started all four of the 2018 World Cup. Went 90 in the three most important games of this tournament so far for Mexico. Against Honduras, Haiti, and last round against Costa Rica. Gallardo sat and was rested for that final group match against Qatar, which Mexico did not need. We're already in first place on the way through to the knockout phase. Blake sends it long. All the way back for Johan Vasquez. Amari Bell scored Jamaica's goal in that 1-0 win over Guatemala last round. On the feed from Damari Gray, who has it now. Left side of the Jamaican attack was the most dangerous side in the last round against Guatemala. Long run for Leon Bailey. He'll salvage it, looking for Antonio. Johan Vasquez gets it to safety. Given away for a moment by Uriel Antuna. Henry Martin, the goal scorer, drew the foul. Damian Lowe reaching over the back, dragging him to the ground. Talk about returns to this stadium for Mexico on the large scale. How difficult it was for them on that night against the U.S. in the semifinal. On the players out there, the one with the most difficult night was Cesar Montes, starting at center back again tonight. Montes received a red card against the U.S., was suspended a few games, did not return until the last match against Costa Rica. Started, went the whole 90, and his return from suspension. And Montes back out there in the middle of Mexico's back line again. Emir Hallgrimsson in his post-match interview after the 1-0 win over Guatemala said this would be a possible landmark for Jamaica. This is the first major semi-final for this group. And by that I mean a group led by a lot of dual nationals who have pledged allegiance to Jamaica over the last couple of years. The likes of Mikel Antonio. Damari Gray just made his debut for Jamaica to begin this tournament. In the last couple of years, same goes for Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed. These players that have entered the fray for the Reggae Boys. This is the first time as a group they are on the brink of a Concacaf final. Hallgrimsson knew it would be difficult against Mexico. He joked that it would basically be a road game, but it was no different from the quarterfinal where it felt like a road game against Guatemala for Jamaica, or from their matches in the group stage where it felt like road games against the U.S. Jamaica caught asleep at the wheel in the first 80 seconds. It's been back and forth ever since then. Mexico looking for more. Jorge Sanchez floats one over the head of Orbelin Pineda. Bobby Reed, a fortuitous bounce on the run. Reed with Antonio, and Gray put it behind Antonio, and not enough on it to find Damari Gray, who he apologizes to by raising the right hand. Better ball to Gray, and the Everton man would have been in alone. Cesar Montes slowing it down. This is a milestone game for Memo Ochoa. On the eve of his 38th birthday, if Mexico advances to the final, and he is there to start that final, Memo Ochoa will tie Gerardo Torrado for 5th most caps in Mexico's illustrious history. Pineda forced out to the end line by Lambert, corner for Mexico. a nice early birthday present that would be for Ochoa, knowing he's a couple of days away from yet another Gold Cup final. Now in his 6th tournament, the Mexican keeper has not been tested yet by Jamaica tonight. Andre Blake, tested a couple of times already by Mexico, has 2 saves, has seen one get by him and ripple the netting. Now from the corner, Mexico. Sent in by Chavez. All the way back for Ochoa. Goalkeepers tend to get better with age and experience. Just a matter of how long can you go until your body maybe breaks down or you just don't have it mentally anymore. Ochoa still going strong. Again, turns 38 tomorrow. Debuted nearly 20 years ago, August 10th, 2003, as a professional for Tigres. Has gone on to make 717 pro appearances since then. And now, as of tonight, he is up to 142 caps for Mexico. Antonio switches all the way across. Long run for Javane Brown. He's able to keep it in, spilled into his bench. They help him back onto the field of play. Javane Brown was a question mark coming in. He left the last match against Guatemala injured and was replaced on the evening by Dexter Lembikisa. Lembikisa made a couple of starts in the group stage as well. So whether it was Javane Brown or Lembikisa coming into the night, not quite sure which way it would go, especially with Brown's injury. But on that sprint to the sideline to keep that ball in, he looked all right. After taking that hard tumble, got right back onto the field. Ochoa sends it ahead. Flicked further along by Gallardo. "20 minutes in, Mexico leads 1-0, courtesy of Henry Martin in the 2nd minute. 80 seconds is all it took to be exact. Antonio sees it go over his head. You wonder how long Mexico will try and sit back like this. Any chance they've gotten to try to take the time off the clock. It's still very early to be doing that, but every precious second counts. Don't necessarily want to stray too far away, though, from what got you here. And what got them here in this tournament has been an attack-first, fluid sequence of play mentality. We've seen a lot of players from Mexico interchanging in the midfield. Free license to the wingbacks of Sanchez and Gallardo to get forward. It is the best they have looked in quite some time. Have to take into account, of course, the competition they're playing against. It's a little bit different from the competition they faced at the World Cup or the United States team they faced in the semifinal of Nations League. But they finally look again like the Mexico of old. What was such a pivotal moment for them after a difficult 7 months. So far, so good tonight in the semifinal as Panama awaits, taking down the U.S. in penalties after a 1-1 finish through 120 minutes. They were scoreless after 90. Panama scored in the first half of extra time. The U.S. quickly followed with their own equalizer. And then Panama took it on penalties. Thibaut there for Sean Bernard. Mexico turns it quickly into an attack. It's left there for Luis Chavez. Andre Blake was watching it sail wide. Chavez takes a look up at the ceiling, wondering if he could have done better. Dangerous out of the back from Bernard. He did not play the opener against the U.S., Bernard, but he has not missed a minute since then. Reliable at center back he's been for Jamaica. Not on that occasion. And this time, he puts out the right hand and says, no, go the other way to Andre Blake. And Blake will just go along with it. Damian Lowe sends it ahead. Bobby Reed was waiting. Mikel Antonio settles. Amari Bell with Damari Gray. Damari Gray cuts in. Gray deflected, saved by Ochoa. First real good look of the night for Jamaica. Unsurprisingly, it comes because of Damari Gray, who has been stellar in this tournament. Always a threat, cutting in off the left side, playing as that inverted winger. He's tried a couple of times to strike from distance in this tournament. Damari Gray comes in, 4 caps, 2 goals, 2 assists in his Jamaican career. And his Jamaican career spans this tournament. Debuted in the opener against the U.S. and did so with an assist to Damian Lowe. Orbelin Pineda, under some pressure by Reed, goes down, and finally the foul is called. Should this scoreline hold, at some point Jamaica has to be more proactive. At some point Mexico goes into a shell and the complexion of the match changes. 25 minutes in, team staying true to their identities. Too early to panic and start changing what got you here. But a 1-0 lead for Mexico has them in a great spot, looking for more. Henry Martin cleared away by Damian Lowe. Gathered by Damari Gray. Ran out of room. It is a much narrower field here than some of these players are used to. Became a talking point last month at the Nations League final. It's a few yards on either side, narrower than what you typically see. Another corner on the way for Mexico. Luis Chavez ready to send it in with the in-swinger. He has been in charge of most set pieces in this tournament. Chavez delivers near post, punched away by Andre Blake. Settles there, top of the box. And now we got a stoppage from Mario Escobar. The way that ball changed direction, I believe it hit the sky cam above the field, and that's why Escobar stopped the play. Had that cable camera hanging above the playing surface. Players are all pointing up to it. Perhaps that's why it awkwardly came down in no man's land atop the box. It'll just be restarted with a drop ball. Martin sends it back to Andre Blake. You always get a little bit of everything on your bingo card here in Concacaf. Hit the sky cam, cover that space. Javane Brown ranges forward for this throw. He's waving everybody into the box. We have seen this time and again in this tournament for Jamaica. Trying to get it into the box when they can, turning every throw into the attacking third into an attacking set piece. Brown launches it near the penalty spot. Headed away by Montez. Leon Bailey to Bobby Reed. Out wide, Amari Bell. Working end line, Bell lost the battle against Jorge Sanchez. Good bit of defending by the Mexican right back. Bell was a heartbeat away from turning that corner and having his pick of the litter to serve the ball to in the middle. Now it's Pineda, taken down by Javane Brown, and a free kick coming from Mexico. Jaime Lozano wants a card to follow. Jaime Lozano's request is answered. Orbelin Pineda. Luis Chavez standing over the free kick. Being told it was Damian Lowe who actually picked up that yellow card for Jamaica. Not Javane Brown who committed the infraction. Lowe for something that was said after the fact. Five men standing up in the wall, one laying down beneath it. It's Javane Brown who draws that unlucky straw. Will it be Chavez? It is Chavez! One of the goals of the tournament, and Mexico leads 2-0. Incredibly struck against one of the top goalkeepers in the region. It takes a lot to beat Andre Blake. It makes a spectacular goal all the more spectacular when you consider the keeper. And I don't know that there's a keeper in the world, not just the region, who is keeping that one out. Second goal of the tournament for Luis Chavez. Jaime Lozano was stoic after the first goal was scored. He celebrates this one in style. Mexico now with a 2-goal lead can surely taste their spot in the final. Still an hour to be played, but ahead 2-0. Couldn't have asked for much more. Latiba Dare looking long. You wonder, going back to the pictures we saw of these two teams in the tunnel pregame, you wonder what seeing Panama do, taking down the U.S., did for the psyche of both of these teams. Luis Romo checks it back for Jamaica. It had to give you a belief. Mexico, the U.S., the two giants of Concacaf. If Panama could take down the U.S., why can't we take down Mexico? On the other side, if you're Mexico, your arch rival, the United States, a nation that's been a thorn in your side as of late, you saw them bow out. You see the path is there to lifting a trophy against Panama, though that won't be easy. Panama has looked one of the best teams in this tournament ever since their group phase started. On the Mexico side, you see maybe there's a path open to lifting a 9th Gold Cup trophy. Both of these teams would have received a bout of confidence by seeing that previous result go that way for different reasons. It is Mexico who has come out here and accomplished what they were trying to do so far. Don't think Chavez will be striking this one, though he is a confident man right now. Plays the ball in, it's centered. Martin had a chance at the near post. Andre Blake comes away with it. Any sort of redirect from Martin, and we might be having a different conversation. Long road back now for Jamaica, who had not trailed in this tournament until this match tonight. One by Antuna, and one back by Latibo there. Antonio. Lambert. Played long for Demarai Gray, he'll get there. Fronted by Gallardo. Still Demarai Gray, Kevin Lambert, and Javane Brown. Good spell of possession for Jamaica. Mikel Antonio thought he drew the foul. Instead, a throw coming for Mexico with 10 to play in half number 1. Out to a 2-0 lead. Martin in the 2nd minute, Chavez in the 30th minute. Nearly given away by Latibo there. Javane Brown writhing in pain, holding his right ankle. Play continues around him. Jamaica will now play it out. So their fallen teammate can receive the attention. And Brown is beckoning for the trainers to come on. Awkwardly stepped on unintentionally by Pineda. Another glimpse at that magnificent strike by Luis Chavez. Brown hobbled on his way off. Trying to claim it was intentional as he was stepped on with the studs. Clamoring for a VAR check. He's trying to get right back out there, ready on the sideline. Once he's waved on by Mario Escobar, still pleading his case with the 4th official. And now back to the action. Damian Lowe. They've struggled building through the lines, Jamaica. Anytime they try through the midfield, it has just become a black hole. Mexico winning the ball back. Their best efforts have come in transition, going long over the top. They're down the flanks, Jamaica. Mexico right now just dominating in the midfield, and you wondered if that might be the case. A couple of nice touches from Jaime Lozano. Looks like he could still go a half hour if Mexico needed. Oh, and Edson Alvarez not in the starting 11. You wondered if they would have that same midfield prowess, Mexico. So far, the answer is yes. And again, it's Mexico winning it in the midfield, though Leon Bailey persists in his effort and battles to win it back. Luis Chavez. Forced out wide, taken to the ground. Perhaps still some frustration from Javane Brown for the challenge he was on the receiving end moments ago, as he comes over to chat with Mario Escobar. Kevin Lambert picks up the yellow. Luis Romo finds Jesus Gallardo. Good first touch by the left back. Gallardo serves it loose in the middle as Antuna made a mess of the first touch. A largely pro-Mexico crowd sensed the third goal might be afoot in that last build-up. We'll try again now through Pineda. Sanchez denied entry to the box. Good defensive play by Amari Bell. Mikel Antonio quickly takes the free kick. Brown. Lambert. And across for Deshaun Bernard. Made 7 starts in England's third tier this past season with Portsmouth. Deshaun Bernard, bright young player, just 22 years of age. Belonged to Manchester United. The lanky center back from 2019 to 2023. Currently attached to Portsmouth. Just 5 to play in half number 1, plus whatever stoppage time has in store. Happy to have you along this evening from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I'm Joe Malfa. Deflected on the strike by Pineda. Andre Blake does well to keep it in. Avoids conceding the corner. Wanted to play quickly, but nobody available. Antonio. This is the area of the field where Jamaica has struggled mightily. Antonio doing his best to get out of that area into the attacking third. Great tackle in from Johan Vasquez. Gallardo up the flank, finds Eric Sanchez, and now Luis Romo given away by Vasquez. Kevin Lambert gives it right back. Wasted opportunity for Jamaica. Lambert does well to win it. Here's Kevin Lambert. Mikel Antonio, options in the box, cut toward the back post, and Ochoa is there. For so many of these players on the Mexican side, it's been a 4-year layoff from the Gold Cup or longer. So many of them competed at the Olympics in Tokyo in 2021 instead of the Gold Cup, as those tournaments ran into each other after the pandemic pushed the Olympics back a year. That includes Memo Ochoa. This would have been his 7th Gold Cup instead of his 6th, if not for the Olympics. He played at those Olympics with Johan Vasquez on his back line tonight. Also Jorge Sanchez on that back line at the Olympics 2 years ago. Going further up the field, Henry Martin was one of the exceptions above the age limit. Long throw in again from Jamaica. Also Uriel Antuna at the Olympics. So a lot of Olympic experience in this starting 11 as opposed to Gold Cup experience in some instances because of that unique situation from 2 years ago. So for a number of these guys, could be a first trip to a final in the Gold Cup. Even though Mexico is on the brink of a 3rd straight final. And Javane Brown has to be at the end of his leash. He's already been off the hook a couple of times with fouls that could have elicited yellows. Gets away with this one again. Don't imagine Mario Escobar will be as lenient the next time. Told there will be 2 additional minutes here in half number 1. A successful half, to say the least, for Mexico. Already with 2 goals, could have been maybe a 3rd or a 4th mixed in here or there. With some of the promising attacks they've enjoyed. At the other end, Memo Ochoa has had to make just 1 stop on a Demarai Gray shot from outside the 18. Wasn't even a clean look, it took a deflection. The most Ochoa has had to do so far is this. Just helping play around the back. Gray taken down. There's that confirmation of 2 added minutes. Floated ahead. Antonio left it for Damian Lowe. Lativo there knocks it down. Leon Bailey fakes a couple of times. Now it's served in with pace. Here's Javane Brown. Sean Bernard got ahead to it. Here's Leon Bailey. Can he earn a corner down in this predicament? And it was over the line for a goal kick. Plenty of reasons to celebrate right now in the crowd for the Mexican fans. A stark contrast to June 15th, nearly a month ago, on this same field against the U.S. in the Nations League semifinal. Jaime Lozano has come in and so far righted the ship for Mexico. Is there one last chance here in this first half? Settled by Antuna to the end line, deflected. And one last corner for Mexico. Orbelin Pineda claims this one. Two minutes of stoppage time come and gone. Last play coming here. Whipped in, headed away. Trying to race ahead, Demarai Gray. He's fronted by Jorge Sanchez. And there's your whistle to end half number one. A ferocious first 45 for Mexico, scoring 80 seconds in, that man, Henry Martin. And then at the half-hour mark, on a thunderous free kick, Luis Chavez made it 2. 45 minutes away from another trip to a Gold Cup final. It's Mexico 2, Jamaica 0. occurring on the Jamaican bench as if we're going to have a change or two as we begin this second half. If you're Mexico, no changes necessary. You're ahead 2-0 after a stellar first 45 minutes of play. That man Memo Ochoa largely unbothered in the first half. Just one save he had to make on a deflected shot from outside the 18. It was directly to him. Jaime Lozano, very, very happy, you'd imagine, with the way the first half went. Only thing that Mexico could have improved was perhaps scoring another goal or two given the chances they had. And here is that change for Jamaica, a very attack-minded change. You have to do that. Now down 2-0 to begin this second half. Shamar Nicholson comes on for Kevin Lambert. Bringing on an extra striker, taking off an extra defensive midfielder. Will they be now in a 4-1-3-2, having to commit these numbers forward? It's Jamaica from right to left, yellow tops, green bottoms. Mexico left to right, green tops, white bottoms. Mario Escobar in the orange, ready to send us on our way in half number 2. 45 minutes away from a third consecutive Gold Cup final. Mexico holds a 2-0 lead against Jamaica, and we're underway in the second 45. Saw extra time and penalties earlier between the U.S. and Panama. It would take quite the effort from Jamaica in this one to send us to extra time tonight in the late game. Shamar Nicholson's first surge forward turns into only a goal kick. These teams are meeting for a 9th time ever here in the Gold Cup. 6 wins for Mexico, 1 win for Jamaica, 1 draw in their previous 8 Gold Cup meetings. Antonio comes away with it. Mikel Antonio! It had Ochoa worried. It did not miss by much, and tempers now flaring. Mexico did not take too kindly the contact from Antonio pushing his way through to the ball. Did not curl it enough, missed it a couple of yards wide. This is the 4th meeting in a semifinal between these two nations. 1993, 1998, 2017, and now tonight. Mexico advanced to the finals in 93 and 98. Jamaica in 2017, which is the last time these teams met in the Gold Cup, 6 years ago at this stage in the semifinal. More recently, they played twice in the most recent edition of Concacaf Nations League, grouped together. A 1-1 draw last June, on June 15th of 2022. A 2-2 draw this past March. And those draws ended up being Mexico's undoing. They won the group still, yes, and made the semifinal. But when it seemed like they would cruise through as one of the 2nd or 3rd best teams, they ended up slipping to the 4th seed and had to face the U.S. in the semifinal instead of holding off on facing the U.S. until a potential final. So Jamaica's been a thorn in the side of Mexico over the last 13 months. It has not gone that way tonight. The 1-0 loss to Qatar notwithstanding for Mexico on a night where they rotated nearly their entire starting 11 with the group already won. 4-0 win over Honduras, 3-1 win over Haiti, 2-0 win over Costa Rica. Now a 2-goal lead here. They have been terrific here in this Gold Cup. Damian Lowe up the right side for Javane Brown. Sean Bernard under pressure. Merrick Sanchez. Latibo there. Plays it through for Nicholson. Shamar Nicholson to the back post. Leon Bailey settles. His first touch takes it away from the body and cleared away. Goes without saying, but you need that first before you can get that second if you're Jamaica. Down 2, you hope that first goal comes before the hour mark, gives you plenty of time. Try and complete that comeback. Leon Bailey had some discomfort, slammed his head off the surface. You saw in the replay. Very awkward fall to the ground. Looks like another change is on the way now for Jamaica. They made one at the half. Javane Brown was subbed off due to injury last game against Guatemala. He went down a couple times in this first half, injured. And now he's coming off for Dexter Lembikisa, the same sub we saw in the quarterfinal. Lembikisa for Brown. So 1 window used for Jamaica, 2 subs used. So 3 more changes in 2 more windows. Mexico still with the same 11 out there who started the evening. Sanchez. Latibo there wins it clean. Jorge Sanchez takes him down. And Eric Sanchez might pick up a yellow for kicking the ball away. As Jamaica wanted to play quickly. Looks like Mario Escobar will let him off with a warning. Damari Gray. Over the top toward Antonio. Gray just did stay onside. Works end line, delivers. Ochoa has it. Switched out wide for Gallardo, and now Mexico has to get back quickly. Jamaica out in transition. Played through to Antonio. Antonio back post. Too late was Nicholson. That draws the applause from Hallgrimsson. First really well executed counter of the night for Jamaica. Good idea from Antonio. Hoping for Shamar Nicholson to show up at the back post. coming out of the pocket here for Deshaun Bernard. So now both center backs on yellows for Jamaica. Damian Lowe with the other one. Bernard came in on top of the foot of Henry Martin. Slow to get up. Surging ahead, Luis Romo to the end line for Antuna. Serves it on top of the netting. Udiel Antuna was offside, a late flag. Antuna has been lethal with his service in this tournament. 2 assists to his name. Dangerous down the right flank at all times. "11 minutes into the second half. Scoreline remains unchanged. Mexico 2, Jamaica 0. Martin. Now Amari Bell brings ahead for the Reggae Boys. Gives it away to Jorge Sanchez. Here is Sanchez again. Udiel Antuna drives at Amari Bell, feeds Jorge Sanchez, floated to the back post, and again, it's on top of the netting. Back-to-back services from out wide by Mexico end up on top of the net. What does Jamaica need to do to find a way back into this game? They have struggled mightily in the midfield. Mexico seemingly the first to every loose ball in the middle third of the playing field. Udiel Antuna delivers dangerously through the 6. Receives applause from Jaime Lozano. Very good service, just nobody on the end of it. Sanchez for Chavez. Luis Chavez, the author of a terrific free kick goal in the first half, which will go down as one of the goals of the tournament. A really strong case to be the goal of the tournament. Came in the 30th minute to beat Andre Blake. Sanchez, well defended by Latiba there. And he tried to shield it out for a goal kick, not realizing that he had touched it last. Unhappy with the call, but he concedes the corner. Will that come back to haunt Jamaica as we're in the 60th minute now? And down that corner of the stadium here in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, all the fans to their feet in anticipation of this corner. Outswinger from Chavez, the header served centrally by Uriel Antuna, and it was blocked. Antuna overzealous in his bid to win the ball back. Takes down Leon Bailey. Both players left rolling around in pain. Awkward knock of knees. And then at the end there, Leon Bailey kicked out his left leg while the players were on the ground. Comes right here, a stomp. VAR might have a look at that. A blatant stomp from Leon Bailey. Yellow card is shown to Uriel Antuna. And you wonder if a red one might be shown after a VAR check to Leon Bailey. If it goes to a check, of course. It is a possibility. From the looks we saw at it, Leon Bailey very clearly intentionally stomped on Uriel Antuna's left leg. That's why Antuna is so upset about the way that was handled. Led to the yellow card he picked up for dissent toward the referee. Mario Escobar is still holding the play. There's nothing nefarious about this initial challenge, but watch, it plays through the left foot of Leon Bailey. Boom, direct stomp. Escobar still holding it. Mexico preparing 2 changes in the meantime. I'll let you know those in just a moment. And they are checking for a possible red card. Could go from bad to worse here for Jamaica. Already down 2 goals, possibly on the brink of going down a man. Here come those changes in the meantime. Santiago Jimenez, Carlos Rodriguez, on for Henry Martin, and Eric Sanchez. And that's it, check's over. Wow, seems like Leon Bailey and Jamaica get away with one. We have certainly seen similar plays to that issued as red cards. For that matter, certainly seen even less turn into red cards. Jamaica fortunate to still be 11v11, but regardless of the number of players on the field, most important number right now on the scoreboard, Mexico 2, Jamaica 0. Beyond the hour mark now at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Happy to have you along this evening for semifinal action in the 2023 Concacaf Gold Cup. I'm Joe Malfa. Panama awaits after taking down the U.S. in penalties earlier this evening. Final is this Sunday at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Bekisa, a misplay at right back, hasn't been tested since he had to come on for the injured Javane Brown. Here's Gallardo. Assisted the opening goal. Tries to find his way through that back line. With it again, Gallardo lays it off. Pineda serves it up. A wide open Carlos Rodriguez. Needed to be about an inch or two taller, and he would have had a goal-scoring opportunity. Jorge Sanchez settles, battles with Deshaun Bernard. And the Jamaican center back on a yellow card, had to be careful, but won it clean. Memo Ochoa snatches it before Shamar Nicholson can cause any trouble. Damian Lowe ranges forward. Now Lembikisa to Deshaun Bernard. Mexico, of course, would love a third to put this game to bed once and for all. 2-goal lead, you're not out of the woods until the final whistle blows. Could happen quickly, perhaps here for Leon Bailey. Ahead to Reed, and a corner coming. Mexico has similarly had a 2-0 lead in the second half against Haiti in their second group match. With about 10 minutes to play, Haiti brought a goal back off of a corner and made it interesting down the stretch. And Jamaica do the same. Bailey's corner, Nicholson's header deflects out for another corner. In that match against Haiti, Mexico would then go on to tack on another, restore the 2-goal lead, win it 3-1. Just goes to show you that 2-0 lead is never safe. Leon Bailey again, a good service! Shout for a penalty on the Jamaica side. They felt that Bernard was taken down. Hallgrimsson covers his mouth in angst, wondering what might have been. With the bodies they had committed forward at the edge of the 6. Two great services from Leon Bailey on each of those corners. Maybe that gives Jamaica some life. Over 20 minutes have come and gone now in this second half. Scoreline remains the same as it was at the halftime interval. In that match I was referencing, the second group match for Mexico against Haiti. The goal for Haiti came in the 78th minute to turn a 2-0 deficit into a 2-1 deficit. Mexico 5 minutes later will go on to make it 3-1, but in those 5 minutes, I had the pleasure of calling that match. Haiti had 2 or 3 opportunities to tie the game. Momentum can shift quickly if that first goal is brought back by Jamaica. Now from the free kick, swung in, Nicholson's header is blocked. Latibodaire gets it back into the area. Nicholson over the bar. A late offside flag would have nipped that in the bud anyway. Shamar Nicholson has had a couple of opportunities since coming on as a halftime sub. The offside comes right at the tail end of this here. No touch to the ball was ever made. So that initial ball in off the header. That's the one we're looking at. And Nicholson came back to receive. All of a sudden, last few minutes, a couple of corners and a free kick. And Jamaica has come close to bringing a goal back. The entire complexion of this match changes if they do score. But while they're in search of this goal, in search of these 2 goals for that matter, will they be left vulnerable? Will Mexico have a chance to put in a third? Jamaica unbeaten so far in this tournament. Draw against the United States. Wins against Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Guatemala. Mikel Antonio turns and hits. Such a strong striker, Antonio. Not many you could see make a play like that with his back to goal. Mexico, on the other hand, they do have a blemish in this tournament, but it's a bit of an outlier, the 1-0 loss to Qatar, on a night where they started a number of players who have only still seen action in that game. Heavy rotation in the 11. The 3 games ahead of tonight where we've seen them put out what is considered their first team, they have been dominant. 4-0 over Honduras, 3-1 over Haiti, 2-0 over Costa Rica. And now preparing 2 more changes, Mexico. There's a big question coming into the night. Would we see Edson Alvarez, and for how long? The answer is yes. Amari Bell wins another corner for Jamaica. Edson Alvarez, Roberto Alvarado, both ready to come on now for Mexico, who have already made 2 subs. We'll have 1 remaining after this. Demarai Gray in swinger, back post. And Bobby Reed is called for the foul. Henry Martin in the 2nd minute. That opened the scoring. Luis Chavez in the 30th made it 2-0 on this outstanding free kick. Score has remained the same ever since, and here come those changes for Mexico. Luis Chavez, the author of that free kick goal, gives way for Edson Alvarez. Alvarado on his way in as well. Uriel Antuna sees his night come to an end. Well, if you're watching in the Eastern time zone or east of that, it's already Memo Ochoa's 38th birthday. Local time here in Vegas, he's still a couple of hours away from that 38th birthday. And as it stands, it'll be celebrated by earning a trip to another final in the Gold Cup. Recovered by Rodriguez. Cutting in, it's Pineda. He's taken down by Antonio. This might be the chance Mexico needs to find that 3rd. Wide free kick in a dangerous area. They go quickly. Tried to catch Jamaica off guard. Amari Bell, the hero against Guatemala, scored the lone goal in their 1-0 victory in the quarterfinal. It was on this field a month ago that Mexico lost 3-0 against the U.S. in the Nations League semifinal. It was on this field 2 years ago that Mexico lost 1-0 to the U.S. in the Gold Cup final. They are just over a quarter of an hour away from exercising their Allegiant Stadium demons. But a giveaway here to Mikel Antonio. Here's Antonio to bring one back for Jamaica. Memo Ochoa denies. Tries to spring the attack with a long punt of his own. And Santi Jimenez sees it out for a Mexican throw. Jimenez on the turn. Santi Jimenez weaves through. Bobby Reed wins it. Nothing on the schedule right now for Mexico beyond what they hope is a final this Sunday. Jamaica has a couple of games on schedule now for September. Matches in the next edition of Concacaf Nations League, where they're in Group B of League A. They'll take on Honduras and Haiti on September 8th and 12th. Hard to believe that is only 2 months away. A month removed from ending the last Nations League. 2 months away from beginning the next Nations League. And it's a very important one Jamaica has to look forward to. And all the CONCACAF teams for that matter. All the teams competing in League A or with byes to the quarterfinal. Because the quarterfinal winners of the upcoming Nations League will qualify for next summer's Copa America. Alvarez back for Romo. Brilliantly chipped over the top. Played through for Jimenez. Santiago Jimenez to put this game away! And it's saved by Lembikisa off the line. A late offside flag as well. And a correct offside flag at that. Jimenez tried to tip to the line unsuccessfully. Rodriguez to Gallardo. Jesus Gallardo. It's loose for Jimenez. All of a sudden, it feels like Mexico has flipped the switch. Now on the prowl, looking for a third. Pineda delivers. Blast off of Romo for the goal kick. Couple of opportunities between the 60th and 70th minutes for Jamaica to go ahead and pull a goal back. Now it's Mexico with the momentum in their favor, in search of a third to put this game far and away in the back pocket and punch that ticket to Sunday's final as they'll take on Panama. It would be the first ever time Mexico and Panama meet in a final in the Gold Cup. Panama has made it twice, 2005 and 2013, both times falling to the United States. Thibaut there for Bobby Reed, and now Dexter Lembikisa chipping ahead for Leon Bailey just beyond his outstretched right boot. Thibaut there leaves it for Bobby Reed. 30-year-old plays with Fulham, sends it ahead for Nicholson. Ochoa comes off the line to get there before Michail Antonio. Glance over the shoulder from Alvarado. Saw some space briefly. It was closed down quickly. He wisely goes back with it. Johan Vasquez. And now Mexico with 10 to play plus stoppage time. Just taking some of the sting out of this game, playing around the back. Now they break forward. Orbelin Pineda has support. Pineda still with it. Here's Romo. Luis Romo's shot blocked. A brace in the opener of this tournament against Honduras for Luis Romo. Made a bid for another. Romo has played all but 10 minutes of this tournament for Mexico. Jorge Sanchez. Roberto Alvarado. Picked up by Reed. Shamar Nicholson. Laurie Gray has largely been neutralized by Mexico's midfield today. And again, Jamaica reflects on this game. Should this result hold, they'll feel like they lost it in the midfield. Mexico dominant in every facet in the middle third of this game. Amari Bell toward the back post, hoping for Antonio, and out for a goal kick. Mexico's first goal came 80 seconds in after they won the ball in the midfield, quickly turned it over down the left wing for Jesus Gallardo. Poor marking in the end from Jamaica. And a 1-0 lead right out of the gates for Mexico. Their second goal at the half-hour mark on an outstanding free kick by Luis Chavez. But again, how did they get there? They won the ball in the midfield and quickly turned it into attack that forced Jamaica into a tight spot. Either commit a momentum-stopping foul or let them come through. Now again, it's ahead. In search of Jimenez. Andre Blake looks to play quickly the other way. Bernard. Bell. Sean Bernard goes long. Have to try anything you can at this point if you're Jamaica, just to get that ball forward and hope for the best. Antonio. Brilliantly played through for Reed. And cleared, and Montes. Changes for Jamaica. Daniel Johnson on. Latiwa there. DeJuan Richards on for Michail Antonio. Amari Gray is left alone on the left wing. Dewan Richards thought he was offside. Dewan Richards, one of the rising stars to the ranks now for Jamaica. Appropriate that he comes on for Mikel Antonio. The aging Mikel Antonio only recently began his Jamaican career in 2021, now 33 years of age. And it's opened the doors for the likes of Richards to maybe take his spot down the line. Dewan Richards, the 17-year-old, is set to join Chelsea when he turns 18 this October. Jesus Gallardo. Pass Lembikisa, it's blocked. Dewan Richards also has a goal this tournament. Scored against Trinidad and Tobago. So it's already been a bright tournament for the 17-year-old. Came on for a cameo last 10 minutes against both Trinidad and Tobago and St. Kitts and Nevis, and netted his first international goal. Just debuted this past March, Dewan Richards. Diego Lainez preparing to be the 5th and final sub now for Mexico, with 4 to play plus stoppage time. Settled by Sanchez, corner for Mexico. As Amari Bell was caught wrong-footed and cleared it out. Lainez will come on for Orbelin Pineda. Result seems well in hand now. 3.5 plus stoppage time for Mexico makes it to what would be an 11th Gold Cup final since this tournament began in 1991. Alvarado, too strong. Recovered by Rodriguez. This will be the 17th Gold Cup all time since its inception in '91, after being converted from the old Concacaf Cup. Mexico has played in almost all the finals. Looking to punch a ticket there with an emphatic third goal. 17 finals, 11 have featured Mexico if this result continues the way it's going. Set long by Andre Blake. Settled by Amari Bell. Nowhere to go. It's been that kind of night for Jamaica. Everywhere you turn, you see a green jersey. Has to almost feel like they're playing down a couple of men with the way the Mexican midfield has just swarmed tonight. We saw the great glimpses down the tunnel before these teams took the field tonight. They were all watching the monitors to see how the Panama-United States match finished. And you just wonder if, after seeing the U.S. fall, an American side that has been a pest for Mexico over the last 2 years, to see them perish against Panama, if it put a little extra wind in their sails tonight, Mexico, knowing that they would not have to go through a roadblock they have not been able to overcome the last 2 years, and knowing that a trophy could be lifted against Panama. It won't be an easy test, mind you. They've looked outstanding in this tournament. Here's Richards taken down, and a free kick for Jamaica. Edson Alvarez picks up the yellow. Daniel Johnson, Leon Bailey, Damari Gray, all conspiring over it at the moment. 4 minutes will be tacked on. Almost feels like Jamaica has to have this free kick. Then give yourself about 3.5 minutes of stoppage time play to find an equalizer. I don't know how many more opportunities in this match exist like the one at hand right now. I've already seen one electric free kick scored tonight. So it made it 2-0 Mexico. Will it be Gray or Bailey? It's Leon Bailey, just wide. Tried to duplicate what Luis Chavez did in the first half. And he didn't miss it by a lot. Got a yard wide and a yard high. Jamaica, if this is how their tournament ends, it's a nation in Concacaf for which the arrow is certainly pointed upward. 2 years removed from so many of these dual nats, switching from England to Jamaica, bolstering their talent pool, and they've only continued to add to it over these last 2 years. Finished behind Mexico in Nations League by just a couple of points. Tied Mexico in both of their head-to-heads. Now played in, snap header down, and out for a goal kick. Jamaica tied Mexico in both head-to-heads and more than held their own in World Cup qualifying, but fell shy of the World Cup qualification places or the playoff. In this Gold Cup, on paper, Jamaica, maybe the most talented roster as far as who was actually called in, with Mexico, the US, Canada, Costa Rica leaving a number of players behind. They had been undefeated until tonight. They were punched in the mouth early on with a goal 80 seconds in by Mexico and never fully recovered. So hats off to Jamaica for what has been a strong tournament. They'll be back at it again in September to begin the new edition of Nations League. And they will be among the top dogs, you'd imagine, in League A. Now the new format with the US, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Canada with byes directly to the quarterfinal. Case could be made. Jamaica is the top team in group play. Here's Gallardo. Past Damian Lowe. Gallardo centers. Exclamation point for Mexico. Roberto Alvarado makes it 3. And El Tri will play for a trophy on Sunday. A third goal that has been building for quite some time. Better late than never. For Roberto Alvarado, he gets his first goal of this tournament and his 5th in his Mexico career. Jesus Gallardo picks up a 2nd assist on the night. It has never really felt in doubt ever since the half-hour mark, and that goal erases any doubt still in the minds. Nothing Andre Blake could do. Plenty of reason to celebrate for the fans at Allegiant Stadium tonight. It's going to be a fun night in Las Vegas for these folks. There's your final whistle. The 8-time Gold Cup champions will play for a 9th crown on Sunday. Mexico is through to the 2023 Concacaf Gold Cup final.
Jugaste el partido con el sello de la casa, ¿no? Tu especialidad. El partido que pintaba para más difícil ha sido superado. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Sí, desde el principio lo tomamos así. Sabíamos que era un rival muy complicado, que tenía muy buenos jugadores al ataque. Pero bueno, planteamos un buen partido, fuimos contundentes y se nos dio el resultado.
¿Estás de acuerdo que este era el rival a vencer en esta Copa Oro?
Sí, bueno, nos quedó un partido más. Nosotros nos trazamos eso desde el principio, partido a partido, quien nos tocara, y hoy gracias a Dios estamos en la final.